Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's recording, the 26th of November. It's a Tuesday. We're recording this at 6:32 p.m. Uh, Eastern Standard Time. We're looking forward to the Asian session, which opens up in a couple of minutes. Sorry, a couple of hours. We'll be looking at Bitcoin, gold, the dollar index, the Russell, the ES, the Nasdaq, and let me see if I get the time. I'll be looking into other stuff as well. But let's begin. Uh, Today we had the FOMC news. We had Fed chairman speak on interest rate decisions and all of that. I haven't followed it closely, but I can tell you there was not much action on the charts. I had a few trades today morning, very profitable trades. I was short, so we had a push over. This was overnight, right? This was overnight. Coming into the morning, we had a push towards here. I was expecting us to hit here. I saw this huge rejection candle, and I had my first short over here, took it out over here. The second short that I have that you see here was based off of this 15-minute candle failing to close above here. We took another short, got everything out here, right? Two trades. That was it. Now, as the day progressed, around 2 o'clock, this was FOMC right here, you could see very steadily gold just started to rise, right? And then boom, you have this gap, and we see that gold has gapped up. Now, one thing that you have to make note of is that today was contract switching, right? Wednesday 27, which is the Asian session, we switched from this contract to this contract. So currently we're at this contract. So if I take this, you can see there is no gap because this is the right contract that you have to be in. I just wanted to show that over there, right? So this is the gold contract that you have to be trading, which is the Feb 2025 gold contract. So that being said, all my lines, everything have been disappeared because, it's a new thing. But not a problem. We will just go with our analysis. You don't have that much information because it's a new contract. It just starts from April 23rd. Huge volume candle here, which is this week. You can see it's the most volume that was done. That was because I think the reason why it's showing up like this is because this is a new contract and this is when we switched, right? So a lot of volume came into this chart. I don't know the intricacies of it, but probably that could be the reason. Regardless, I can see that we created sort of a base over here. I would say somewhere over here. What is this low? This is 2580, sorry, 2525.2. So we're just going to keep it there. We're going to get it again and say, O2s, please. Okay, wonderful. That is where we have, the first, I would say the first set of rejection, right? Like we come here, we reject, come there again, instantly shift down, and now we're sitting above it, right? Another place that I see that price bounced off of was in and around this area right here, right? The buyers held this particular price, so I would say an interesting level would be that right there. That's on the weekly. Now, if we look at the top, we have obviously the top of tops, which is 28, 26, and 6 cents. So 28, 26, and 6. We're just going to mark that there. 28, 26. What? Yeah, 28, 26, and 6. Okay, so sorry, 28, 26, and 6. Sometimes, man. Okay, so perfect. Now, coming back into the daily, what do we have here? We have, market structure going up, comes down, tests this, and then heads right back up. We catch selling from here, which is a very fair place to get selling from. This was, like if you look into a couple of days when I was having my recording sessions, I had clearly stated that I did not like this drop, right? Because it just erased off of all these gains, right? And we're still within that structure, right? So, if anything, where I'm most interested to be on gold is up here, right? That would be considering the long scenarios, or as of now, I don't see that there is any much of a trade that can be taken. But again, diving deep down, if we just keep in touch or keep just not sorry, if we just look into what this day's high is, right? We realize that there is enough action over here. So a place that I would like to see gold head up to would be, let's see this. So 2700s, right? 2700s is something that I would like to see gold sit at. So I'm just gonna have my point marked here at 2703 and 7 cents. So we'll have that here, 2703 and 7, not 6, 7. I like prices to be on the dot, right? Because as you can see, we come here, we come all the way here, we break down, right? And then this was acting as a very good place. Now we're staying below. Now, I would like to see us again, if anything. Let's see, the close of this candle is 26.62 and 6 cents, right? So, and then we have this sort of a gap that you can see here. So I would say, if we're playing this, right, I'm just going to keep this in the high here, which is 26.67 and 3 cents. So 26.67, please. 26.67, 3 cents. There we go. Wonderful. Hopefully this contract doesn't shift again. Coming back into the trade, we can try to figure out what happened, right? So this was where we were today morning, right? Price comes over here, hits, and we're now just chilling. So something that I would like to see is if we ever head up to 26.666. You know, it would be good to watch that. I would like to see what happens when we're up here. That being said, let's have a look at the dollar index. Dollar index is, come on, load. So we're still in the same chop, right? We're still in the same chop. This was a very important place that we were sitting over. I believe it was last week. Now we're still sitting in the middle of all of this, right? So it's nothing substantial, nothing major that would be playing. The green line here is a weekly. We're still we could flush down, right? Depending on any economic news, we could flush down. Now the FOMC minutes. Let's see. I don't know what this does, but I've clicked on it. Okay, so U.S. interest rates. Key data points. Observation period, November 7th. Sure. There we go. We have to Fed to adopt gradual rate cuts. Look at that. So they're doing gradual rate cuts. That's what we have. Powell says on 14th, right? Strong U.S. economic growth allows for patent rate cuts. The last time that he spoke, he was mentioning that it's not going to be a sudden thing. It's going to be something gradual. So that's what you have here. 4 hours saying gradual rate cuts, right? So they say risk to employment, inflation, and gold. So it's nothing has changed, I would say, right? Like it's almost the same thing, right? That means we're still in the same market sort of structure that we should have been, or we're in the same. How can I say it? We're in the same basket that we were a couple of weeks ago. So in that case, I would be definitely looking for gold to continue trending higher because of the economic conditions over around in the world. So my futures contract still hasn't shifted. That is so annoying. But I hope. Please show me my lines. Where are my lines? Okay, wonderful. That's amazing. I need to add this to my list so that it doesn't go away. So let's say we have this to watch list. There we go. Top step right here. Brilliant. So if whenever I place a trade, I will be placing a trade over here. So we're gonna move this up. Let's move it up. Let's move it up. And like my computer has been so slow because of the amount of uh, data that I have on this computer. It's crazy slow. It's super slow. It should be called a super slow computer. Not it's an i5. I feel pity for i5s. Maybe something is wrong with my laptop itself, but you know, regardless, time to change it. I will be upgrading it soon. I'll be having much more faster videos. You know. That being said, so we saw what's happened with gold, right? Like we're in this stage where we're in the middle of nowhere. 2,700, something above 2,700. I would like to see, uh, gold pushing up. If we still stay below this, we could be testing the lows. The dollar. So that's what you see right here, right? Like you see this huge chop. Like we came all the way down, we went all the way up, and now we're right in the middle of nowhere because the market doesn't also have enough information to tell itself where it wants to go next. It's that simple. So when you don't have information, there's nothing much that you can do. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is quite interesting because we hit 100,000 and then started coming down. You know, people taking profits, right? We have a huge gap over here. So what are the odds, right? There's a contract switch on this as well. So from 26 November, we have switched from the X contract to the Z contract, right? So this is where you would technically be trading. So I'm going to be moving this as well onto my charts. I don't know if Top Step updates this automatically, but I don't think so because from the floors that I was working in, we would always be notified that, hey, contract switching is happening. Make sure that you're on the right contracts when you place trades. I don't know if they do that automatically for you. It would be nice, but yeah, we'll get to see. We'll get to see. Now, in Bitcoin, there is not much of a trade either, right? The one place that I'm very interested to see is maybe the low of this week, right? Which is 95.95. Now, this being Bitcoin, we could go even lower depending on volume. I would certainly think of where and when and how to play this trade, if it's to the upside or if I'll be taking it to the downside. That's one of the interesting places that I like. Anything apart from that, I don't see much happening on Bitcoin. I don't think that there is, much to play around with on Bitcoin. Maybe it's just me not able to see, maybe what other traders see, but that's just me, man. It's a very key area. If I go back to my Bitcoin, the previous charts, right? A very interesting area that I liked to see is right over here. Yeah, this is where I have my alert set off, right? So this is on the 4 hour. I'm looking at this candle right here. Okay, let's see if I can spot that easily or not. So I do believe it's this one right here, right? So, and that's exactly where we have our alert sent in. So because I may forget, I would like to be alerted even earlier. So we create a new alert. Okay, that's been created. And sometimes I name my alerts, right? So I'll say name the alert is, BTC approach. Uh, Keywords, code words. Okay, so that's Bitcoin for you. I don't think that there is. I don't think that there is much to trade off of. Okay, now going back to the Russell sitting at all-time highs. Very nice. Look at that, all-time highs. What did I tell you? All-time highs. Is it good? Is it bad? We'll get to know, right? We have rejected ever since. Okay, we have rejected. Clearly, we have. So the high here is 26, 24, 60, and sevens. Just gonna move one of these. Okay, there you go. What did we do now? What did we do? What did we do? Let's go into the 5 minutes and see what's up. The Russell is it's a very, look at that. Look at how we didn't even look back. Just went straight through. Quite interesting. And then we started to fail, right? So, again, not alarming, not surprising. Something that I would like to see is how we react probably when we are up here. If we decide to stay above this, I'll be looking for longs. That's it. It's a very simple trade. Now let's look at the Dow. Again, industrials. We had industrial news. I think it was today morning at 8:30. If we go back to the calendar, we could see something. You going to open up or no? Okay, you figure this out while I go back here. Again, punching longs would be quite interesting to watch, right? Why not? So approaching this, we're gonna have something placed over there. Same thing with the ES. I'm sure it's probably going to follow. I think I have an alert set up somewhere up there. I don't think the ES is exactly at all-time highs. It actually is. Look at that. Look at that chart. Just trending higher and higher and higher. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I have no idea. I have no idea. But what do we have up here? And again, I think today, no, contract switching for the ES isn't coming 17th December. That's when we switch contract. So ES again, same thing with the Dow. I'll be looking for break of highs. Breakout traders look for break of highs whenever the market is doing whatever it's doing right now. The Nasdaq, on the other hand, already went higher. We're approaching a certain level that I like on the Nasdaq. Again, like ideally, you would like to see this above that for a trade to happen, because look at this. All of this right here is chop. Look at the choppy action, right? Let's say you went long over here, right? You're out here. This is one entire day, does nothing. Second day takes everyone out, pushes back up. You're long again. You may be in around here. You're trailing your stops. Boom. Next day you're out. So it's just very choppy at this point. Like it's something that I don't like to trade. I know you could say it's on an uptrend, right? But when you look at it from a day trading perspective, sure, if you break it down even further, you'll find places that you could have gone long if you were someone religiously trading the Nasdaq. I'm not that person. I do not trade it every day. I had a trade in and around here when I saw a rejection, a liquidity grab over here, and then a pushback higher. That's when I took a small trade on this. Yeah, but apart from that, something that I would like to see is what oil is doing. I haven't looked at the oil charts. I don't know when was the last time I looked at it, but again, I know a lot of people who trade oil. I know a lot of traders that trade oil. Where are we sitting? We're sitting at 68.89. We're saying we're not doing that well for oil, right? We're sitting very low here, probably because of all that's going on in the Middle East. Not that good for business. That's what you're seeing here. There's a lot of other products that I would like to eventually get to. I can see that there is wheat futures. I haven't traded any of these yet. There's a lot of different types of instruments that you can trade. You could trade cattle, you could trade wheat, you could trade palladium, all of that. What's this? This is gasoline futures. There's soy somewhere here. You have the E-mini Dow Jones, T-bond, corn futures. There's a lot of different instruments. I'll probably look into this in maybe during the weekend when I have more time. But that being said, again, to our bread and butter that we always trade, which is gold. Uh, I don't know. It's something that I'm willing to wait for to watch it play out before I decide to take any trades. So yeah. Uh, that being said, was a good session today. We looked into all these things. I have my levels marked. I have my notes taken down. If you're trading and you know success is something that comes, it's a lagging indicator basically. You put in the work and eventually success catches up. For me, what I'm doing right now is something that I will be doing on a daily basis. With that being said, if you have been watching, thank you. I hope whatever I do here has some benefit for you. There are comments that you can place. If you have any questions, I will be willing to answer them in the comments whenever I get the time. That being said, thank you so much. Have a good evening.